What's going on, everybody? We are back for another episode of the Footy Culture. Before we get into it, ladies, gentlemen, please hit the link in our bio because in there you will find a brilliant code, not even a code, a great link to play with our friends at PointsBet. We've been playing all season long, all summer long, all tournament long, but the season's about to start, so get firing with us. Let's get it. Also, brand new Footy Fresh styles are coming pretty much all the time. You know, we had a great summer tournament with so many fresh new styles, and they keep on coming. The best air fresheners on the planet, I think. I would say so.
Guaranteed.
So get them at thefootyculture.com because they're amazing and they smell fantastic. You know, lemon, cool water, so many great scents.
Forest Rain.
Yeah, so many beautiful scents. New car.
Vanilla.
Another classic, lemon, of course.
You name it. We got it.
The best. And on top of that, let's get right into it because there's been a scandal that has shocked the nation.
Ooh.
Not even just the nation, but the footballing world. And everyone's talking about it. Basically, if you don't know, if you guys are living under a rock, Canada women's soccer at the Olympic Games got deducted 6 points to start the tournament.
Embarrassing.
And why, you may ask? You know, no drug charges, no criminal activity by certain players per se, but a simple drone flying in the air, which has been caught filming New Zealand team practices that have, as a result, had Canada head coach Bev Priestman sent home. Canada deducted 6 points to start, and just shameful articles across the nation.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let's dive right into it. Is this just? Is there an overreaction here by the football world?
I think there's got to be an overreaction because one, what were you doing with this drone footage? Is it really benefiting your team that much to where you have to not only A, fine them over $200,000, B, deduct them points, and C, send home the people that did it and their manager as well? Like, what kind of advantage are you really gaining in this kind of sense? I don't think there is much because what do you really get from watching the team play and train? Their formation, their tactics, but like what really is going to get that edge?
The only arguments I was seeing was some people saying maybe set piece plays. Maybe there's footage of some players that haven't really been seen much on camera from, brand new, rising players and whatnot. So you're trying to get a little bit of seeing how they're able to match up with some of your teammates and what some of your players. That's what I'm thinking. But like you said, I don't think there's much to really spying on a team when, for the most part, you're clearly seeing these players play throughout the season, see how they play with their club teams, how they played in the past with their national teams. Because not for anything, the Women's Football International, like they pretty consistently. They have quite a few tournaments all year long. So, and they probably come up against them a couple times already before, right? So, I personally don't think there's anything to it.
There's two ways of this. Yeah, maybe it won't do something, maybe it will, but at the end of the day, it's something that no team should be doing. Like I'm going against Canada on this one. I don't think that they should have drones. I know more than just Canada has these drones going out. We're just the ones that got caught. But I think it's deserving of the fine. I think it's deserving of the coach going home, but I don't think it was deserving of a 6 point deduction.
6 points massive.
That's huge because that literally ruins Canada's like whole tournament pretty much. They have to go undefeated in the group stage, which they might. Mm-hmm. They might, but it's stupid. It's stupid for the players to get punished for what the staff did. It's kind of dumb in my opinion.
What kind of environment do you guys think that creates in the squad? Like, are these ladies like taking it upon themselves to like really step up now despite this point deduction? Like, are they kind of like looking at each other like, who else is doing like these kind of weird acts and whatnot? Like, what's that environment like in the camp now?
I think they're fired up, to be honest. I think like this probably gives them a spark that, not that they needed, but a different spark. Obviously you're coming in as, defending gold medal champion, so you already have something to prove. But now you have something else to prove. Not only, can we do it, we can do it without the coach. We can do it without, these allegations that the only reason why we won the gold medal was because we were spying on teams. That's what a lot of people were saying. The only reason why Canada was so successful is because they've been spying on teams for years, right? Which obviously we can see now isn't the case, right? Obviously against New Zealand, big win. Against France, one of the best teams in the world in women's football. A huge victory and a huge performance from the whole team. You can see how much it meant when they scored that, 94th minute goal, whatever it was. Everyone was fired up. They all celebrated together, and you can tell they have something to prove. And I think that's going to be huge for the tournament. It's going to be huge for the team. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they run it back-to-back golds with, on the back of this now.
Yeah, I think they got fired up 100%. Because this is, they have something to prove now because not only did they lose their manager, but I feel like they definitely lost some loyalty with the fans.
It's weird though, because we're hearing it, we're seeing it in the news that other teams are clearly doing the same thing, not only in the women's, but in the men's too. I think you mentioned before, Drogba even mentioned it himself that it happens. And he said other players too, right?
No, it was Tyler Adams.
Tyler Adams, I think, was on a podcast with, the Soccer Cooligans, mentioning how he's like, it's not just them that are doing it. Like, literally every single team does it, so he doesn't really understand why it's being made such a big deal of. Obviously, I get it. Like, it's unjust, unfair, an advantage, this, that, and the other. But I don't necessarily think that you should penalize the players for it.
Mm-hmm. Right? Guaranteed.
No, in my opinion, this Canada drone fiasco is the biggest overreaction ever.
Probably.
Yeah,
it's absolutely ridiculous. And a lot of the overreaction is coming from Canadian media itself. And it's so disgusting because as soon as the women's fiasco made the news, all of a sudden, this one reporter, I'm not going to say their name, breaks news how the Canada men's team was doing this too. And Canada is the only country that'll try to bring down their national teams instead of try to sweep it under the rug.
Just for the clicks.
Not only country, but because you got England in there.
How are you doing that as a nation? And plus, our broadcasters here in Canada, let's say TSN, never talk about soccer unless it's they have the national tournament rights. As soon as there's some allegations, some scandals, boom, front page news, bashing the national team. It's disgusting. What an overreaction here. You guys said it yourselves. Tyler Adams, Drogba, not a big deal. Every team does it. Why are they overreacting? It's ridiculous. It's just, like you said, it might these media personnel might just be trying to get clicks. And try to bring down the national team for no reason. It's disgusting.
The thing
they're going for the men's side, they're going back 4 years. I saw in the report by this reporter, they were doing it in 2020 qualifiers. What do you have to gain from that?
Literally nothing.
It's just oh, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Congrats, you broke a news story, but congrats, no one rates you as a human being. All the players hate you. You show up to a media scrum, no one's gonna rate you.
No one's answering your questions, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do that. I'm sure they can tell the players hey, I don't like this guy anymore.
Oh, for sure.
But the thing is, they could have been more low-key about it because we know a lot of teams are doing this. Why send a drone out? How more obvious can it get? Send someone dressed in a janitor's uniform or something, someone that looked like a staff member for that stadium.
Well, that's because they probably didn't think it was that serious. Like you said, they didn't have to go to that level of surveillance or security to kind of try to sneak a little, get a little advantage when you come up against an opponent.
Yeah.
People do it all the time. Now looking at AI and stuff, people are probably asking AI how to beat France women's team. But I honestly, like you said, it's crazy how our own media is doing that to ourselves and our own, if not for anything, probably the best team we've had in women's football in a long time, gold medalist, going to run it back to back, and not for anything, for what they've proved already. They won their first 2 games, and they're coming against, you said, Colombia, right? I think it's going to be an easy 3 points. And not for anything, it's luckily that they do have that same thing where their third place can qualify as well.
Yeah.
So they have a better opportunity of advancing. So, you know what? If they take the three points this next game and then go all the way and win it again, that just shows pretty much
that'd be crazy.
But look, definitely still going to support the ladies. They're killing it, as they always continue to kill it. Despite all this backlash and all this noise, they're making it happen. So shout out to them. And yeah, I just think that 100%, maybe a drone is too subliminal. Throwing Tyler Adams, when he was on that podcast, he was mentioning that, you'd find a staff member in like the arena they were practicing in. That looks a little conspicuous. Like maybe a janitor, maybe a guy that's just not supposed to be there. But that's a more low-key way of doing it, right?
Yeah.
Not like literal technology flying above you. Like, what's that? You know?
Yeah, you can hear it, you can see it.
Yeah, they could have been more conspicuous about it. But the backlash from their own country and their media disgusts me. What do you got?
So going forward, do you guys think we see like a domino effect kind of happen, like more reports like this coming out, or is it just kind of like a one-time thing?
Like strictly for Canada or for all over the world?
Just all over the world for football.
No, it's not gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen unless it's
No more reports like this.
unless it's for like the Canada team women's again. Oh, they're back at it again, cheating. Like if it's not Canada, and I don't think we see it again.
Really? So no like Premier League club caught spying on opposition member or something like that.
I don't think so, because I think they all do it, and they probably all know that they're spying on each other. They just know it doesn't really give a significant enough advantage to make it a big deal.
Yeah, and
So
I think
I'm sure
I
it's
think they
making
literally
that
just took it out of proportion because it's the Olympics, because it's women's sports, because it's Canadian media.
Yeah,
Literally.
they literally had nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, you know, don't try to talk about the CPL ever.
Yeah.
Talk about, you know, a scandal with soccer in our country.
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, don't highlight our professional league. Yeah.
What's gonna generate more clicks though?
You know it's going to generate more clicks. But is that ethical in it? Like they're talking about ethical business with the drone stuff. Is that ethical?
Hey, business is business.
Disgust
business.
me. Disgust me.
It is what it is, bro.
Well, we had Canada. Canada was on the downfall, but then we also had Spain on the up. They went on to win the U19 Euro. The women's went on to win their Euro. Men's went on to win their Euro. Spain is taking over the world right now. Why? Why and how are they taking over the world right now? Is this like their golden generation again of like from like 2008 to 2012? They're just taking over everything.
I think Spain are undoubtedly headed towards another golden generation. Undoubtedly. They have the attacking talent. Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, the midfield talent. Pedri, Gavi. And also, I'm hearing about these like Sergio Ramos regens coming out of the Madrid Academy. Long hair, like tall, white, like it's amazing. They
16.
just continue to reproduce at this high level. They got their Euro under their belt featuring young talent. Like you said, U19 dominating. I think there's no doubt that Spain will compete for another World Cup within the next two editions.
And on top of that, they have a fantastic manager on all sides.
On all fronts.
And they have Kubarsi gonna be coming up. He should have been on the Spain squad this year.
Yeah, in the Olympics now.
In the he's playing the
I
Olympics
didn't
now.
realize Eric Garcia was only 23 as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
young.
He's still
So
stinks.
because I know every team kind of has their like older player to come in. I looked at Spain's team. They don't really have anyone. I know they have like 24-year-olds maybe because they were part of the team, but then they obviously their birthday was this year. I think they're still qualified to like participate.
Yeah.
But they don't have like a big player like Lacazette for France or
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Alvarez is probably still 23 too, no, for Argentina.
Somewhere around
Otamendi
there.
for Argentina.
Otamendi,
Yeah. I don't think Spain too. Like if they have good players out there, they don't need to bring
Yeah.
a Muniain for no
They
reason.
probably look at it more of like a way to develop these players, right? Get these young players tournament experience, get these young players ready to play for the World Cup, the next Euro, and everything like that. Obviously, it's been working, right?
What's y'all's take on how are they doing this? It's such a
Talent.
is it just
Academy.
talent?
Development, bro.
Like what part of their development makes them this good though?
I feel like they've had so many years of football to perfect, where they've had so many success stories over the years. Real Madrid on its own just being one of the greatest clubs in the world, trophy after trophy, season after season, with Barcelona as well. And I think they're doing the same thing with their women's team. They're doing the same thing with their younger teams. Not for anything, I think Barcelona's the best football women's team in the world, right?
Yeah.
By
Winning
far.
back-to-back Champions Leagues. Three-peat, right?
2 or 3.
2 or 3, I think, like that for Champions Leagues. And then just the history and the way it's just embedded into their heads at an early age. Not for anything. I feel like it's gonna be really difficult for the teams to kind of catch up to them, but I think they're just kind of getting back into it again, where they're let's take the crown and run with it.
Yeah. I was gonna say my opinion on the Spain team doing so well for all ages, because they start off like, I'm pretty sure since a young age they all start in the same system. They play the same system all the way up to professional level. So they're coming up perfecting this system that they're gonna end up playing on the Spain team. perfecting that system. Because realistically, like even myself, I didn't expect Spain to be that good, but they had a system, played it well, played it perfectly, and they just dominate. Like, did any of you guys think Spain was going to be this good, like to go on and win a Euro?
I mean, like, look, you said it perfectly. The reason Spain are so dominant is because it's that consistency at every single level. De La Fuente coached a lot of these guys on the winning team at youth level through many different final tournaments, U17, U19, now the first team. I think Rodri's in that list. Mika Marino, Danny Olmo. He coached all these guys in youth finals to now the Euro final, to which they won, right? So it's consistently at every single level that allows them to succeed. And you could see in the Canadian system too. Look at Patrice Vaughan. He's coaching these guys from like U12 all the way to Vaughan High Performance. Why do you think they're the most dominant team in League One Ontario?
Facts.
It's consistency at every single level. You don't break away from your system. You have that coach that stays with you throughout your whole development. It's not different coaches at each level.
Yeah, that's fair. So is this something that more countries should implement in their youth systems or going through the ranks?
Well, I mean, I would say 100%. Clearly, it worked for Spain.
So, like, this would actually work perfectly for a team like Brazil if they could get a coach that could bring them all the way up the ranks. Because right now they're stranded without a manager.
Coaches in Brazil suck though. And even if they want to succeed, they don't give them time in Brazil. Like, teams will cycle through a coach like 3-4 times in one season. They just don't give them enough time and patience. And how are you gonna build up a good Brazilian gaffer if you don't give any decent ones the chance to prove themselves, right?
Yeah, because I feel maybe not Brazil, but I feel like I think Germany does the same thing as well, but they play a different type of system because Spain obviously plays the 4-3-3, as we all know. They've been playing that since who knows. But Germany's the same thing with the 4-2-3-1. That most of the youth ranks they'll play with that 4-2-3-1. That's why in Germany there's always that cam. They always have a cam in their teams. Nowhere else you won't see that cam anymore, but Germany still have it somehow. But I guess that's why Spain's so dominant. Yeah, their consistency is crazy, and I don't know, the players that they get are just always perfect for their system.
I mean, football works in cycles, right? And it seems like that kind of cycle is coming back to Spain, right? Like how successful they've been, and also comes down to the culture too. Like you see teams like Barcelona and how they play football, and how the players come to Spain and they play the same kind of way. And then Sociedad, same kind of culture, bring those players into the national team and they perform as well.
Yeah, they had a lot of players in this Euro too. Yeah.
I think it also shows too, like how important it is for teams to develop their own talent, right? Spain right now and maybe France are really the only two nations that we see consistently always churning out good young talent and playing them at their top teams. Like we see Barcelona now, you're going to have a core of Barcelona players playing in the next World Cup, the next Euro Cup for years to come. You're going to have Kubarsi, you're going to have Yamal, Pedri, Gavi, probably Nico Williams in there too. Like you're going to have literally like a core of players, and you need that to be successful. You see every team that's had that continued success always has a core group of players from the big clubs in the nation, right? And I think Spain always do that better than almost any other nation.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so answer this. Are we seeing the start of a new dynasty with the Spanish national football team? Are we about to see them do what they did starting in 2008? Euro, World Cup, and then another Euro? New dynasty for Spain?
It's tough.
Thinking on it.
It's tough. I don't think the team's going to get as good as the Spain that we saw back then, because I don't think there's going to be a better team than that team for a long time. But can they dominate? Yeah. Because if we're comparing to the teams right now, they don't compare to the teams back when Spain was winning their trophies.
I didn't ask that.
I know. So can they have a dynasty? Yes. They can. But compared to the other Spain team, no.
The only question is who can stop them? Who's competing with them?
Argentina, maybe?
They could only go as far as their opponents can.
You guys don't think England will be a good shout with a new manager, with the players that they have?
No.
I mean, they made it to the finals 2 years in a row. Two tournaments in a row.
But
That's true.
they never convince me. Like, they never convince me that they're going to win. Like, no matter how many times they get to the final, And no matter how many times they're favorites in the final, I'm never going to bet on them to win the final.
Because not for anything, I feel like the English national team players, and in general the England national like football, like, just development and even just the players, like they're proven in the club level, but it just needs to find that like one little click that gets them all together in the nation. And if that happens, I feel like they can really become a great tide, similar to their team when they had back in the day with the Gerrards, Lampards, Rooney's, all those guys. It's just the manager. I feel like let's set them back. And I feel like if they have someone to put them together and really fight the like good team, because again, the Spanish team, it didn't look like the hottest on paper, right? Yeah. But you put them together and they look great. Maybe you get some of the players that are doing really well, winning their leagues, getting the team of the tournament, player of the tournaments, but you don't have to play every single one of them. But if they find the right ones and add a couple players that aren't really the hottest players out there, but they're performing really well during the season, I feel like they can click and they can be like some of the best.
Yeah,
I feel like England can be like, they just have to find a manager who'll do it for them.
That's a big if. Because if they couldn't do it 20, 25 years ago with the golden generation they had, how are they going to do it now?
Yeah. And I think the biggest problem with that is definitely because the animosity that comes within the clubs itself. Like, as an Arsenal fan, as a United player, as a Man City player, coming together to a team and trying to play together, I don't know if it was the same how it is now, but I'm sure back in the day it was a lot more. The rivalry in club, bringing it to the national team, it definitely was something that was holding them back to kind of play well together. Whereas for now, I don't think really there is much of that. I just think they're just really big names. And a lot of them need that highlight. And I think the manager's also finding it difficult to put all those faces together. Because you have Harry Kane, you have Bellingham, you have Foden, you have Saka. Like,
yeah, he tried bunching up all the best players into one team instead of finding what works best. So like we were saying before, like bringing in Anthony Gordon instead of having
Foden,
us all-star, another all-star in the team, someone who's just going to do his job and help out your stars. So he just tried putting all the best players out. Doesn't work. Usually, most of the time, it usually doesn't work. Like we saw with the Galacticos, it didn't work. We saw with many teams. Are we going to see with this Madrid team that just is being made right now? It honestly could.
It's true. It's true because there's so many players that play the same positions. Who's going to be starting? Who's going to be playing what? Who's going to be warming the bench? And there's a lot of players, not for anything, right? So I feel like that's the biggest thing that Spain had to come together, because a lot of the players that came to this tournament, you're now seeing some transfer rumors. You're seeing them, okay, like they're actually big players. Like, wow, like these guys are good. With Olmo coming up, stepping in. If Pedro was in his position and still healthy, are they going to win the tournament? Will they win the cup?
Who knows?
Ended up tying up for most goals in the tournament as well, which is crazy. Yeah, as like a sub to start the tournament.
Top player, man.
But no, definitely. I feel like England, if they get together, they can definitely compete. That's a big if.
The thing is, like I said, with Spain and that culture, England don't have that culture. They don't have a winning culture.
Yeah, they really don't.
What are they gonna like learn from? You know what I mean?
And if anything, I think like the more tournaments that go on, the harder it's gonna get for England, because now you've lost 2 back-to-back Euro finals. You got ousted in the last World Cup as well. So now you've have this new generation of talented players and all this pressure, but you also now have a culture of losing. And now there's even more pressure. Then it's not even just the pressure because you're a good team, and the pressure from the media, and now it's the pressure of, okay, we can't lose again. We can't lose in the 3rd straight Euro final. We can't lose in another World Cup. How many more tournaments do we have together? Then these things start to compound, and then that's another generation flushed down the toilet.
And then a curse happens.
Right? And then a curse happens, and Matthews is talking about the conspiracy in this very chair in next year's podcast. But it's crazy. But to go back and answer your question before about Spain, I say no. Because while they do have a good group of players, they're still missing, in my opinion, a few very crucial positions. They don't really have a 9, right? If you think about it, those Spain teams that were so dominant, you had an abundance of 9s. You had David Villa, you had Fabregas, who can come in and play that false 9, or you had Fernando Torres in those teams as well. And now you had Morata. It worked, but it's not always going to work. And now he's going to get older too. And who's next up? Who's going to play striker for Spain? I can't really even think of a young Spanish striker that can maybe come in and fill that spot, right? At this point.
Maybe he's too young.
Maybe he's too young.
2 years ago,
maybe he's too young.
Thought Lamine Yamal would turn up at the Sterney, bro.
Maybe he's 12 years old right now, and then 4 years from now he's starting for the
Or maybe they played Danny Olmo striker.
Yeah, but as of right now, I don't see it. And then I also don't see that Puyol, Ramos, Piqué at the back yet. I'm seeing a couple Frenchmen at the back, right? I'm seeing a couple Frenchmen at the back, but I'm not seeing those leaders in that team, right? And sure, they were able to do it in the Euros. They dominated everyone, but let's be honest, it wasn't really a competition. When there's competition, who steps up, right? But we'll see. I think Yamal is going to be the next greatest thing.
Not for anything. Spain also had the toughest route to the finals of the two, and they knocked out some pretty big teams.
Oh yeah, they realistically, like, Germany was really their.
That was the final right there.
That was the final. That was their toughest game. Like they kind of like squeezed through that game with, you can call it like a lucky header, but they chose their moment. But a lot of times in that game, they were being dominated, right? In a lot of portions of that game, because Germany just kept on applying pressure. But they found a way to do it, right? And you know, shout out to them. And honestly, like, it would be cool to see another era of dominance, just because I think that's the only way we'll see Yamal just like stack Ballon d'Ors. I want to see this kid just stack Ballon d'Ors like crazy, because someone has to do it.
You and me both.
No one else is doing it, bro. I want someone to do it, and I want it to be him. He's just so likable.
Speaking of Yamal, though, the whole thing that's going on with him and his ex-girlfriend or whatever is, bro, you're 16. You shouldn't be worrying about this and stuff if you really want to achieve Ballon d'Ors.
Do you think he's worrying about it, though, or do you think it's just media blowing it up?
It's got to be media, man. Like,
Yeah,
I
I don't think he cares, bro. Like,
I think the media blowing up a 17-year-old relationship is kind of sus.
Yeah, it's bare sus, and like also probably like illegal, you know, looking at that in some ways as well. But I honestly don't think he cares, right? I think he's young, he's chilling, he's doing his thing, and I think he's gonna come back next season. You know, a few weeks under Hansi Flick, he's gonna be jacked.
We hope that he doesn't care, because at the end of the day, like,
Jacked.
that's what's important.
Yeah.
Footy first, bro.
Yeah,
Exactly, bro.
yeah. Hopefully,
Focus on the gal later, bro. Footy first.
Footy first, focus on the gal after, and then he'll be good, right? Just keep hustling hard.
That's it, bro.
Show to hustle hard 304.
Yeah, man. Again, do you guys want to go over some transfers that have been kind of been rumoring around the mill a little bit these last few weeks? A lot of big players, a lot of low-key signings as well.
A lot of good low-key signings.
Alvaro Morata to AC Milan. Your thoughts?
That's just
their correspondent.
That's just their Giroud replacement. I think that's a good signing. He's gonna be good for like half of the year, and then for the other half, they're gonna have maybe Camarda comes up.
Is that a league-winning signing?
A league winning?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think they can win the league?
No, unless if they play Camarda, you guys know who Camarda is, right?
Yeah. He's like 16.
Yeah, if they play Camarda and ends up just absolute balling out, then that's a league winning team.
You don't think they can win it with Morata?
No, not striker. Morata shows up for half the season.
Bro, Morata's such a money launderer kind of player, man.
He is.
How's he been to all these clubs and like not
You're a
really
winner.
like been a bagsman at these teams, and yet he's still getting these big transfers, bro.
Bro, like, I would say Morata's a pretty big game player.
I don't know. I feel like you guys bash him too much. I feel like he's a good player.
He ain't nothing special though.
Well,
He did his
okay,
thing.
but by special, you're comparing him to El Guajevilla. You're comparing him to El Nino
I'm
Torres.
not saying that.
No, but subconsciously you're doing it because it's like Spanish captain, striker. No, he's not those players. I'm pretty sure he is high up in the goal charts though for Spain, but nonetheless,
You'd hope so.
he's not one of those players. But he's a big game player, I'd say.
Has he had?
I will never forget 2015 Champions League semifinal, knocking out Real Madrid for Juventus. Amazing. It made me smile so much.
No, he is a big game player, man.
Dude, realistically, he might be a top 4 Spanish striker of this generation. If you really think of it. Of the 21st century, he could be a top 4 Spanish striker.
Why 4? Like, that's such a
That's a lot. That's a lot.
So
of
you're putting
strikers.
him fourth then by that
Yeah.
measure.
Probably.
That's a lot of strikers. Who was the 4?
really.
Torres, Villa. Are you counting Villa as a striker?
Yeah, Torres Villa. Then honestly, dude, like he might even be 3rd.
Llorente?
I just put 4th to give myself a bit of a buffer. He's better than Llorente.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's better than Aspas
Yeah.
as well. Right? I gave myself a
Oh
little
wait,
bit
no,
of a
wait,
buffer
wait,
there.
wait.
I know Raul.
No,
is in there as well.
That's
Negredo?
That's generations back. What about Diego Costa?
That's a
I got
fake
Costa
Spanish
over
man.
him, low key, bro.
Costa was Costa was something else.
No, but we're talking about Costa for Spain.
Low key.
Yeah.
He started like 3 tournaments.
Low-
Yeah,
Low-key,
he
I-
wasn't. He wasn't anything special.
I got
though.
Morata over Costa.
I have Morata too.
Bro, how many seasons has Morata scored more than 20 goals?
What has Costa won?
Premier League.
Did he win the CL?
I don't think he won a Champions League, did he?
Probably not.
Yeah, but did Morata win a Champions League as a starter?
It's a start.
No, he didn't win one as a starter, but he won a Euro.
Yeah,
And he
fair.
also won league titles in a few different leagues, which I
Yes.
think is pretty impressive.
So
as
did Diego
well.
Costa.
Yeah, he did.
Atletico Madrid title,
Yeah. Premier League.
Chelsea title,
Yeah.
and him and Hazard partnership for Chelsea.
But was that more him or was that more Hazard?
No, but Costa did his thing.
No, Costa was a baller, man. He
Costa's-
was a baller.
Costa's probably like one of Chelsea's best strikers of the last decade.
Okay, so that's why I gave myself 4. Morata 4 then. You can
he's-
put
he's
those.
debatable.
I think
He's
those
close.
two are probably 3-4.
He has
You can go
2
either
Premier
way.
League trophies.
Who's this, Morata or Costa?
Costa. 2 Spanish championships.
Okay.
1 Supercopa. UEFA Super Cup.
Yeah.
1 Europa League winner as well.
Okay.
What does Morata have?
Morata. Let me check here. Morata.
He has trophies.
Morata has more than
I'm
that.
sure he has more than that.
He might have a CL.
He has bare trophies. No, he does for sure.
Yeah, with Chelsea.
He was at Madrid
Actually,
for
not
one of those
nothing
CLs.
too crazy.
He has 2 CLs.
He has
One with
2
Madrid.
CLs. He has 1 Club World Cup, 2 Spanish championships, and a Euro.
He has City A as well.
Yeah, top goal scorers, 2 top goal scorers.
No, Morata's pretty on par
Come
with
on,
trophy wise.
No, I said it's debatable.
It is
but
debatable.
debatable.
That's close. That's
3-4,
close.
but dude, that's still pretty
He's
good.
not top 3, bro.
Top 4.
Spain?
I said top
Not
4.
even top 5.
All time?
Who else do you
Who's
got?
higher?
Are you saying all time?
21st
Villa?
century.
Villa's not even a striker, though.
21st century?
Yeah, that's what I said, bro. Bro,
This
from
guy's talking about all time.
dude, from 2000 till now, it's like 25 years.
Villa might not even
How many
count.
wait.
strikers have they had?
okay, wait. If you're
Still top
talking,
4, bro.
wait, if you're talking 2000 till now, what about Fernando Morientes?
I was gonna say Morientes too.
Okay, top 4. I'm still putting him top 4, dude. Morientes, dude, to be honest, are you like maybe a little bit of a nostalgia merchant bringing that up? Like,
No, of
is he really
course.
better than Morata? Like, maybe he's
Probably.
5th. You know what I mean?
Of course, I'm a nostalgia merchant, but
But
Yeah.
it's a good name to bring
I'm
up.
gonna bring
Morientes,
up a name.
Morientes has 3 Champions Leagues, 2 League Cups, 2 1
Champions Leagues.
3 Champions League,
We're ta-
2 Spanish
Raul.
Cups, 1 French Cup, and
Is there a
3
striker though?
3 UEFA
Is
Super
Villa?
Cups.
Is Villa a striker?
of course. What are you guys talking about?
He is more of a winger.
Both those. What are you guys talking about?
What do you mean Villa
Striker, bro.
played wing for Barca and for Spain?
Yeah, because he had to, and that was like 2 seasons.
Those
He
were his
played
best
wing for
years.
Spain, Villa.
Yes,
I don't know about that.
he did play wing for Spain.
The cap.
He,
You mean
he did.
Cap?
He did.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
But
he
if-
did.
Maybe on the stat sheet.
Yeah, but he probably
He
drifted
played left
in.
wing.
He probably
He's a
drifted in.
striker.
He's a striker.
Barely.
Bro, what?
When I think
David
of-
Villa's not a
yeah.
striker.
He is a striker, but he's
played
more. Of a,
293 games as a center forward and 92 as a left winger.
Yeah, he's a striker.
but he's better as the left winger. That's what I'm trying to say.
How?
He's the top scorer in Spanish history.
He has better G as a CF than he does as a left winger.
Yeah, dude,
But what-
he's a striker.
But he had won all his trophies as a left winger.
No.
How? He
do you
won
mean
the
how?
World Cup and Euro as a striker.
As a left winger.
Didn't he win La Liga as a striker too? Didn't he win a Liga with Atletico Madrid?
Yeah.
Or am I thinking?
Did he
of
win
something?
ever?
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yes,
Yeah.
2013 North
Tail
team.
end of his La Liga.
You guys
career.
gotta up your ball knowledge, man.
No,
Come
you do. You're
prepared.
saying that he's playing striker for Spain. He didn't play striker for Spain.
Okay.
in the 2010 World Cup, he wasn't a striker.
No, it was.
It was who?
Wasn't it Torres that?
He didn't. He barely played.
It was Villa, bro.
Not for anything. Villa doesn't have that many. I mean, he has a World Cup. He has a World Cup. He has 1 Euro. He has 1 Champions League. He has 1 FIFA Club World Cup winner. 3 Spanish championships. 3 Spanish Cup winners
But I'm talking about him like as a player.
as a player.
As
Yeah,
a player,
I
you know.
Yeah, Villa's.
David Villa was nasty. He was nasty. But anyway, Morata, Milan, cool signing.
Oh, I forgot we're talking about signing. Yeah,
Little
it's all right signing.
Cool signing, right? But not enough to move the needle for Milan, you think?
No,
I mean, Serie A has had been some big movements. So even for in Milan to like try to compete for the league, taking that trophy away from Inter is gonna be tough.
I
'Cause
think-
Inter rebuilt a lot of players too. They picked up a lot of players.
they didn't pick up too many, but it was like their key signing for Inter was Zielinski.
On
Like
a
he,
free, yeah?
yeah, he pretty much took the year off for Napoli just so he could play with Inter.
That's crazy.
That's how like serious he was to go to Inter.
Fratesi was on the team already.
Yeah, Fratesi was on the team already.
He was on loan before.
Yeah, remember
Okay.
they bought him out.
Yeah.
They got rid of a couple guys. Nothing too crazy.
Zielinski.
Brought in a goalie.
So who's the most underrated signing so far this window?
Do you want to go league wise or like just in general?
Go in general.
In general, I think everybody pick one.
Most under the radar.
No,
Underrated.
underrated. Like someone maybe
Underrated.
who's not being talked about a lot, who you think is going to be impactful for that team.
Mason Greenwood from Marseille.
Okay.
But it was expensive though, 50 mil
50?
or 40.
I don't
or
know where
something.
you're getting your numbers
50.
from, brother.
Let me check here.
It was like
Sure,
I
just
think,
saw
I
it.
think it was like 26.
Mason Greenwood, 26.
Okay, 26 mil, even better.
I don't like this.
Spaggy just doubles his numbers.
He did the conversion already.
I did the conversion. Maybe I saw it different. No, 26 mil. Greenwood to Marseille. It's a bargain.
Sure.
Me?
You got the.
I just noticed this now. Martin Terrier from Rennes to Leverkusen.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent. It's pretty cheeky signing.
20 mil.
But I like
Sure,
so far. I don't know. There hasn't been a big signing, obviously, besides Mbappe and Endrick, but those have already been confirmed for a while now.
There's been some big moves.
Even Gadassi,
Lenny Yoro?
yeah, Lenny Yoro, but he got
That doesn't
injured.
move the needle for me.
Yeah,
You're not a United fan, bro.
Lenny
There's a
Yoro.
lot of big money's been thrown around this window, bro.
Yeah,
A lot of money's
maybe
been
by
tossed
Real
around.
Madrid, but like,
Madrid barely threw anything around.
well, not for anything. Lenny Yoro went for 62 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
United have thrown out a lot of money,
Yeah,
as usual.
as
But
usual.
Madrid, not really.
I don't know. For me, the transfer window doesn't start until like August 31st.
No, I think
When it ends.
Yeah,
I know.
That's what it ends.
I know.
I know. Really, most
The
clubs.
best signings I've ever seen have come on like September 2nd.
Nah.
Yeah, Mesut Ozil to Arsenal from Real Madrid, Gareth Bale to Real Madrid from Tottenham, both deadline day signings.
So both your
That's
favorite
two.
signings were Madrid signings.
No,
That's
one went to
crazy.
Arsenal.
Okay,
Madrid
well,
player.
from Madrid.
Madrid to Arsenal.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
those are ones I remember vividly.
I think those ones are the most exciting because like you're just waiting for something to happen, then it finally happens.
Yeah.
But I think realistically, most teams have their business done like well before then,
Yeah.
or they should. This year, I think it's going to be a little bit delayed because of the Euros, because of Copa, because of Olympics. I
Yeah.
think now a lot of teams we're seeing, their transfers being pushed back. Players are on vacation; they don't really want to think about transfers. Really, they get their 2 weeks off, they come back. So I think now is when we're going to start to see a lot more transfers just kind of flooding in. Now that players are coming back from vacation.
I think it's like not even just because of vacation and stuff. I think because they wanted to see how they would perform at this Euro.
Well, that too, yeah, because we've seen in the past too, like one good tournament can literally like double the price of a player.
Literally.
And we're probably going to see that.
We already did.
With quite a few of these
Because
signings.
Juve was supposed to get Calafiori before the Euro for
Yeah.
20 million, and they ended up skyrocketing to 50, and they couldn't afford him anymore. And he went to Arsenal.
Snooze, you lose, buddy. Snooze, you lose.
Bullshit.
Not really bullshit. Business is business, man.
We're just
That's just
we're
business.
snoozing.
Do you guys how do you guys think Calafiori will do?
As a left back,
Not just at Arsenal.
That's a
in general.
left back.
At Arsenal, how
A
do you
left
think he'll do?
center back.
And like in my humble opinion, I think his aura is gonna just win Arsenal games.
That's glazing, bro.
When he got introduced to the team today, I saw a social media clip,
You saw it?
and he had aura.
Was he looking at you?
He was looking right at me.
Yeah.
Serious aura. He introduced
like this,
himself.
bro.
He's like, I'm here to win. I was waiting so long for this transfer to happen. I think he's going to bring aura to that team, man.
He said he's been waiting to play in the Premier League since he was 12.
He was an Arsenal fan growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they all
heard,
say.
I heard he was a Juve fan growing up by someone else. I forget who told me that.
He was. He
I
said
heard
it.
that too. I forget who
It
told me
just
that.
happens.
But
You're gonna obviously say you're a fan of the team that you're joining. What the hell?
no, you don't have to say that.
Yeah, most players do. Yeah. Oh, okay.
You can say it's like an honor to play for this massive club, right?
It's this decently sized.
I
club.
think he might be like a Arsenal fan low key, because even with Arteta afterwards, he's like, "Is it real? Is this real?" Like he couldn't believe it.
He's glazing.
Well, yeah, because like he's a youth right now. You're growing up in like present day said, yeah, it's kind of skeef. You want to go to the Premier League.
You left.
Premier League ski.
You left your girlfriend back home.
Yeah, that was crazy.
She even had like a transfer like post.
She broke the transfer. She broke the news. She literally posted saying, "I wish him the best at Arsenal." Before Fabrizio,
Crazy,
She
bro.
had the news already ready to go. She's like, "Yeah, we're going our separate ways, but good luck at Arsenal." And everyone freaked the fuck
Wait, they
out.
broke up?
Yeah, dude, he left her in Italy.
Oh, what the heck?
Dude, there was a clip of him like at some nightlife party, dude. Looked super nice, looked super vibe, like old beach club vibe. He was wearing a nice shirt. He went, just like picked the girl he wanted, said like, "Come with me," and like she came with him, and that was it. And then like it went viral online. Dude, his girl saw it. They're done. He's at Arsenal. I think he'll do well.
Oh, so he cheated on her to get that post.
We don't know. We don't know.
Why
right?
are you
We-
making
yeah.
claims like that?
I'm leaking it, man.
We don't know. We don't know what happened after they left the party, but right, one
Same
can.
TMZ, bro.
Yeah, we ain't TMZ, but I think he'll do well at Arsenal. Is he my signing of underrated so far?
No.
Me personally, no. Right, for me, if you guys want to hear mine, because I think you guys are still thinking, dude, I think Palhinha.
I was gonna say that.
I think
too.
Joao Palhinha,
Yeah.
I think, is going to be a good signing for Bayern. But I also think Alex Garcia going to
Thinking
Leverkusen from Girona. dude, he was probably one of maybe top 3 midfielders in La Liga last season for Girona. Chiquito, 25 mil, now joins Xabi Alonso at Leverkusen. I think, dude, him and Xhaka in the midfield together, it's going to be dangerous, man.
Don't forget about Andrik.
Andrik's in there too, Palacios. They've done some really, really good business this summer, Leverkusen, like under the radar as they do. Man, I think the Bundesliga is going to be crazy again this year, man. Like Bayern made some huge moves. Leipzig held on to Xavi Simons for another season.
No one wants him.
Dortmund made a bunch of big signings as well. Like, dude, the Bundesliga is going to be competitive as hell this year. And honestly, I don't think Bayern are winning it. But we'll save that for another one. My signing so far, Alex Garcia. Underrated.
I think for me, my most underrated signing, I haven't seen too much noise on this player. Man like Rafael Varane to Como. I haven't heard anything about it. No one's talking about it.
He's done, bro.
But
That's like a
still, bro.
retirement
Nah,
signing.
He'll cook in
man.
City.
I think he'll be decent at Como, bro.
I heard Como is owners of the most like the richest owners in the city. Yeah,
Probably.
I'm
I
sure,
think so.
yeah, I'm
That's what I
sure.
heard.
Yeah.
Probably,
So.
and it's like one of the nicest places in the world. So everybody
But their
wants to go.
stadium
live
only holds 7,000 people. I heard.
Yeah. But I think this is their first time in City A, right?
Yeah.
So if you think that,
Okay.
like, it's an investment from the owners,
Can't
right?
they
Like,
just like rent out another stadium for the year?
I'm sure they'll just build a nicer one. Like, I'm sure
Yeah,
they'll
they
build
probably
that one up. Like, if they can, like, keep up in City A,
yeah, they just gotta stay.
they got to stay in City A, maybe qualify for Europe. Then the owner's okay. Let's fork out some money. Let's build a bigger stadium, and then you're cooking, right? But dude, a player like Varane, I think will help them do that.
Well, they got a
need
couple
player
signings,
that.
I think.
They got Alberto Moreno too, I think.
And I think, was it Pepe Reina?
Yeah,
Yes.
they did get Pepe.
Yeah,
They signed as well.
Paper
Dude, that's the experience. That's what you need, especially in City A. City A, I think, is a league like no other where experience can take you further than anywhere else. Even more than MLS, I would say. Like, dude, City A, you threw an old player in City A, they'll cook. They'll cook, bro. It's just in a league that thrives on experience, and I think Como are doing things right.
That's a nice way to say retirement league.
Maybe, but
Bro, you
That's
see
crazy.
Navas is at Monza now?
yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Another one.
Bro, imagine in 2018 after Navas and Varane won their third UCL together, they'd end up at Monza and Como. Who would have thought, bro?
You know what, bro? Not bad places to play.
Yeah.
Right? is what
They're
I'm
nice
thinking.
cities, man.
Dude.
Nice places. I mean,
Did Belotti join Como too?
he might have. I don't know. Como's been making some like quiet signings.
You got it, man.
They'll probably stay up. I don't know how far up the standings they'll finish. Probably like literally like fifth last or something.
Still like mid-table, man.
Nah, I don't know.
Mid-table?
Cesc Fabregas apparently plays some good football. So
Yeah,
Smart guy, bro.
we'll see how he does.
Smart guy.
yeah, dude.
And I feel like he's gonna be there for a couple of years because he's gonna learn the system
And
and,
then
then
he'll go
maybe
to Juve.
eventually move over there.
Maybe, bro.
That'll be sick.
That'd be interesting.
Some random signings too. I saw Moussa Diaby to Al Ittihad.
Okay, we were talking about this last year when he was supposed to go to Saudi Arabia. Remember we were talking about
I do. It
would you rather
was a great debate.
Oh yeah.
would you rather go to Saudi Arabia and get the bag, or would you rather live out the dream, or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Diaby's?
It was for
specifically?
Diaby.
The guy realized that Aston Villa ain't shit
No, he wasn't getting playing time
because he's shit.
because Bailey was better than him. He made Bailey move from Leverkusen, and then Bailey made him move from Villa. So it's crazy. It's crazy how it comes full circle. I guess Diaby's living both lives.
But
both
60
lives.
million, bro. Like I don't let these guys just throw money like that for a player like Diaby.
Well, I think he went for like 40 when he went to Villa. Did he not? For some, he went for a pretty big price tag.
Still, getting profit is kind of mad like
yeah,
that.
Villa did well with that one. But is that your underrated signing, Dan?
Onana too to Aston Villa.
Yeah,
It's a good signing
Villa did
from
bets.
Everton.
Yeah,
That's a good signing.
people are saying they've had the best window so far.
Villa.
Streets are saying, not me, but that's
Why? Because they got Ealing Jr.
Illing Jr.
One of the players, right? They've signed like 5 or 6 players, right?
Cameron
So I think
Archer.
they got Matson, Onana.
Matson's
Right.
a cool one.
They did bits right in the window. But
What do you think of Luis Douglas
Douglas Luiz.
and Turam, your boys?
good signings, man.
Good signings. Someone whose father played for the team, who's going to have a love for the team. Talented. Center mids like we need.
But-
Douglas Luiz was also. They were both pretty cheap.
But no Rabiot, bro.
Yeah, who cares?
That's your boy. What do you mean?
I never really wanted him.
Douglas was like 50, no?
No, he was 20 something.
Sure.
He was not 20.
No, he wasn't. Get your facts
I'll be
straight,
honest,
bro.
He was not 50.
Like,
Bro,
like,
on transfer market it says 51.5
He
million.
was not.
No, he
20.
was
Guys,
not.
He was not
20,
20 something million, brother.
He was not
I don't
50.
know where you're getting these figures from. Where are you pulling?
Maybe
these
it's
figures from,
in
bro?
different currency, man.
Douglas
I said
Luiz,
euros, bro.
50 million.
What did I tell you?
brother.
How is he going for that?
no currency would bring it down to 20.
Yeah, dude, it's not. First of all, I also wouldn't trust you to do currency exchanges.
He's looking at CAD, bro.
But brother, dude, his valuation is like 70, so you guys still got a good deal.
No, man.
What do you mean no? It's what it is.
It was probably like 40 in add-ons.
It wasn't. It was 51 in add-ons. It was 51 plus the other guys. Why do you think
No,
they sent
it
the
was-
It was 50 mil plus his girl.
51,
Oh, there you go,
51
yeah.
plus
Alicia,
his
bro.
girl, and they had to send him Ealing Jr. and the other guys too.
Yeah, whatever. Those guys didn't have any.
Yeah, because Ealing Jr.'s cheeks butt. What do you got, Jay? You say yours already? I forgot.
No, look, I don't have an underrated signing, to be honest. Because,
Hendrick?
Nah, he's rated. He'll probably not get too much playing time, but he'll do his thing. But yeah, I don't have an underrated signing because there hasn't been too much motion enough for me to comment on it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worthy of my
Boring.
comment.
No movements for you so far?
No, what I want to talk about is the cat that is out of the bag.
Yeah. What you got?
I want to talk about the real situation here.
What's that?
Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid. Will he flop? Yes or no?
Define flop.
Yeah. Because the flop for him can be,
Okay, no. Okay,
you
I'll
know,
define it.
a good achievement for other players.
Okay, I'll define it then. Will he win a Ballon d'Or?
His first year?
No, not first year.
Give us some first year
No,
stuff.
like you don't like just answer the question. Don't look so deep into
you
it.
didn't answer our question.
Kylian Mbappe, will he flop?
At Real Madrid.
Yeah.
At his tenure in Real Madrid.
Will Kylian Mbappe flop at Real Madrid? Do I have to
No.
speak like
No.
Yiddish to you guys?
Why would he flop? He has all the tools to succeed. He plays for the best club in the world. He has Florentino Perez, aka PR Perez, backing him up. Plays for Real Madrid. He has the best players around him. French, plays for one of the best nations in the world. How's he gonna fail?
Yeah. And my brother's already speaking fluent Spanish, man.
Yeah.
Like unbelievably fluent Spanish.
All I'm gonna say is, uno, dos, tres, Hala Madrid. He's not gonna flop, man. Are you kidding me?
bro.
Who
He's not
let,
flopping.
Get this guy out of here.
who let this who let this guy in here, man? This guy's wearing a
He's not flopping. This guy's
wearing
gonna
an
carry,
Mbappe
man.
PSG shirt. That's probably the most cringe shirt you can ever own.
This guy's the same one.
I have one as well.
But what was I gonna say? No, he's not flopping. No chance.
He's
He's
getting
too good.
30 GA all comps this
Yeah.
first season, bro.
Is he
All comps.
question? Is he finishing La Liga top scorer
Yep.
next season?
Yep.
Scorers.
Yes.
Top scorer in La Liga next season.
If he's fit,
Mbappe,
probably.
By at least 5 goals.
at least 5 goals.
Guys.
Top scorer in La Liga next
Guys.
season. Mbappe.
Yep.
Kylian Mbappe will 100% flop at Real Madrid.
Why?
100%.
Why?
Because you can't have too many chefs in the kitchen. We saw Galacticos 1 fail, but the thing is, the general public, the casuals, don't even realize that Galacticos 1 failed because you have the movie Goal that makes it look like it was some dream, some movie, but Galacticos 1 of Beckham, Figo, Ronaldo, Michael Owen, all in the same team, Zidane as well, flopped. That collective flopped. And now we have Galacticos 2 or even 3 because you technically also had an 09. Galacticos 3 where you have Bellingham, Benny Jr., Rodrigo, Mbappe, Valverde too. It won't be enough. It's going to flop. I
won't be
think it
enough.
will 100% flop. Too many chefs in the kitchen, too many egos, too many alphas. It's not going to work. One of them is going to have to give.
What about BBC?
Okay, look. Bale, Benzema, and Cristiano. Iconic trio. And they did their thing. And Benzema was kind of like a leadoff of the 09 Galacticos, right? And that's 3 players. I'm talking about like a collection of 6. And it's not like one of those guys couldn't get in the team because of another, like their positions being taken and whatnot, right? Like there's so many attackers in this Madrid team. Bellingham was nearly a false 9 this season. Someone's going to have to give. Who's going to give? Not every single player I just said could start, by the way.
No one's expecting every player to start, though.
How? Well, maybe the player is. You think one of those players is going to be like, is cool with not starting?
No, which is why they're going to leave.
Who?
Rodrigo.
Yeah. Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Rodrigo is leaving Real Madrid.
100%.
What's your starting lineup though? What did you say?
I just named all the like marquee players they have.
Who would you start off right now in the top 3?
Who I would drop?
No, who would you start? How would your front 3 look like?
Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo.
So okay, that's what I think too.
Yeah, but I'm dropping Bellingham.
No, Bellingham's playing in the mid.
He's playing in the mid.
Dropping him.
Who's starting over Jude?
In the mid?
Yeah.
Tukameni and Valverde.
And
who?
and Bellingham.
Kamavinga.
No.
Or
I thought you didn't rate him.
what?
I thought you didn't rate him.
Yeah, but you need a DM.
Ancelotti does, yeah. And Modric is still there.
Yeah, Modric plus
Modric's not
Arda
starting,
Güler.
no.
Arda Güler still there.
Okay, that's
too.
crazy. They
Yeah,
just,
one of our better players last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just bench him
No,
now.
like
I think
okay.
Rodrigo might not play.
No,
to be honest.
I told you what I think. Whether Bellingham starts the season or not, he's gonna take a dip one way or another.
So how's that gonna affect how Madrid play? If
That-
Mbappe is the kind of player that could score you 30 goals a season,
Yeah, you think? You would hope.
I mean, you think he's done it?
Yeah, in Ligue 1.
Okay.
That's Ligue 1. That's true though.
What about World Cup?
And yeah, what about Euros?
Okay. Tough.
Can't do it everywhere. It seems.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Bellingham did come into the league and almost win top scorer as a midfielder,
yeah.
Striker, but
right? I mean, hey, if he can do it,
I wouldn't say that could be replicated.
I think it could be. From
I don't
Mbappe.
think. I
Not
think.
from
I
Bellingham.
think Jude Bellingham's going to have a drop of not form, but he's not going to have the same output as this season as last season. Sorry.
if he could contribute in different ways, I don't see a problem.
Maybe more assists, sure, but not the same amount of goal output.
No, he won't.
It's even assists. Like, does he really create much going forward that way?
Yes.
Yeah, he
You
does.
think so?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. And I think he will in this team as well, because realistically, if you're looking at the midfielders you just named, Modric realistically probably isn't going to be a starter. He wasn't even a starter really this season.
No, Cruz is starting.
Valverde isn't a creative midfielder. Tchouameni's not a creative midfielder. Camavinga's not a creative midfielder. Rodrigo's a goal-scoring winger. Vinny, I don't know.
It's either out of their
So
Bellingham.
Jude is really probably the only one who's going to create and who's going to be playing for the majority of the game. So
Okay, so you think Mbappe's gonna flop?
me personally, I think Mbappe won't flop, but Madrid will. Is that fair? Like, I think Mbappe is going to thrive, but I don't think Madrid as a whole will.
why?
Does that make sense?
But why?
Yeah.
Because like you said, there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and I think that doesn't always work, but that doesn't mean that a player can't still succeed in that system. I think with BBC, you saw Bale wasn't really a superstar. He had big moments, but he wasn't really a superstar for Madrid. Benzema took the back seat. Let's be honest. He took the back seat. He was really the one to kind of step back and say, I'm going to sacrifice myself, my goals, everything for Cristiano. And the midfield just quietly did their thing. No one talked about them
I wouldn't say
until they sang
quietly,
their
man.
praises when they won 5 Champions League. No one talked about them until they won 5 Champions League. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, because you have the attacking three. Obviously, that's what we talked about.
That's going to be talked about more, but no one talked about them until they won 5. So in that moment, no one really talked about them. And if we're being honest, if we're comparing that midfield trio to this current midfield trio, it's not the same. It's really not the same, right? So I think in that case there, I don't think they're going to have the same pieces to succeed as a team, but I do think Mbappe will succeed.
What were the obviously we don't know on paper or whatever, even the numbers, but what was the output when Cruz and Modric and Casemiro first started coming into the scene for Real Madrid? Were they great off the bat? It obviously took some time for them.
Modric
to kinda
wasn't. Modric was not good.
Cruz too,
be honest.
and
First La Liga's
Casemiro,
first
and then
season.
Casemiro also
Yeah.
didn't play his first couple of years. He was on loan when he was at
At
Madrid too,
Porto.
right?
Yeah. But they had other players. They had Xabi Alonso, no? At that point
Yeah,
still.
but I feel like it obviously is not going to come out and be the perfect team out the bat. But like you said, there's lots of cooks in the team, but there's also a great master chef.
How long is he going to be there for? How, is he,
I mean, as long as
for another 10 years?
as long as he's in there enough to have this team gel this season, maybe the next season to get them perfected. Whoever comes in afterwards can just stand there. That's what Zidane did. That was Zidane. That was Zidane. That was Zidane.
Yeah, but
what
what,
do you think?
what about right before Zidane?
Who was there?
When Ancelotti left, Rafa Benitez.
There was obviously some.
Cheeks. Right
Okay.
after Ancelotti.
But I feel like this team is going to be in for the long run, whereas maybe that team does some different changes here and there. If Ancelotti can get this team ready within this season and the next, let's say they win one trophy, if they win the league, whatever, and it also could be because Barcelona might not be the strongest team that they come up against. What competition are they going to have? Atletico Madrid? Not really. Their really output is going to be how they perform in the Champions League. If they win the league, okay, great. If they win the League's Cup, whatever it is, but if how they perform in the Champions League, if they get knocked out in the first round, that's a failure for the club.
So what's success then
Success?
for this team?
Finals.
No, so like what's success? Like let's say quantify it, and then but from now till 2030, that's when this team's going to be in its prime. What's success? 3 CLs in the next 5 years.
From till 2030. So
In the next 6 years, is it?
no,
3
I would
CLs?
say
How many CLs is success?
At least two, and they have to have probably like 3 La Ligas or 4 La Ligas minimum.
So 4 La Ligas and 2 CLs is a success.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but that's pretty long run though. I'm thinking like more like next 2-3 years.
2-3 years. That's not even giving them time to gel. All these players are young.
But I feel like Ancelotti can put them into good position, and let's say yeah, maybe these 2-3 years are not going to win anything, but in 2-3 years, they're going to start running back to back. So they're going to maybe win a 3-piece Champions League.
They could win
before.
a back to back this year too, right? Let's be
Yeah.
honest. They have all the tools to do so. But like I said, I think Mbappe will do well, but I think the team as a whole might struggle to find its way.
Do you think Mbappe is going to play off the middle though?
Yeah.
He's the best on the side.
I like him
Who's
on the
going to
wing.
play striker? Rodrigo? Where's
Unless they
Vinny?
literally run Jude Bellingham the same way, and they honestly have to look to rotate the
What
wingers.
about Vinny?
Be on the right.
I
I honestly don't know. I'm honestly most interesting part of the season coming up is seeing how they're going to shape up.
They'll do their diamond midfield again, maybe, and have Vini and Mbappe up top with Jude behind them.
yeah. Right. So Rodrigo.
So the double striker.
Yeah, and then Rodrigo maybe goes to like I don't know, like Man City, or something like
Liverpool.
It could be the
Liverpool, maybe.
Alvarez replacement if he
Salah
ends up leaving.
replacement.
Salah replacement. Yeah, I think there's a lot of places, but yeah, that's what I think. Anyway,
Okay, fair. Okay, I got one more question for you guys. As we close out here, it's a fun one.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a fun question. It shouldn't take too much thought. Should be an easy one. I'm sure you'll have a ton of options too. What is the best football shirt sponsor of all time? You first.
I got a lot in mind, but I think one of my favorites has to be none other Fiorentina 97 to 99
7-Up.
with Nintendo,
Nintendo.
right in the middle, bro. Classic kick.
Fiorentina had a lot of good
Gabi
ones.
Batituta
Yeah.
on the back, bro. Solid.
Who you got?
yeah, for me personally,
Brilliant pick.
I'm actually sporting it today. I got the Pirelli tires P0. I think the Pirelli sponsor. I think that was one of the most iconic on some of the kits, especially on the Inter kit. I think it was simple, but it was still cool. You know, it was trendy, and I think it's like when I look at it, all I think of is like nostalgia. I think of vintage moments. I think of Adriano. You know, that's what I think of when I see this shirt. Yeah, that's what I got. I got this one. Close second for me was the Fiorentina 7-Up.
That one's good too.
7-Up is a good one too.
So iconic, Pirelli.
Pirelli's crazy.
I used to think it was Pirelli
Same,
growing
bro.
up
So did
So
I.
because that like it's 2 lines, right? So if you're not
Yeah.
looking right at the end, you think it's an F.
Yeah.
But iconic.
yeah,
They've had that for how long? 30 years?
time.
Something like that.
30
Time.
years?
Yeah,
For me, iconic ones. When I think iconic shirt sponsors, Samsung Chelsea, iconic, and Win Milan,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Oh, Buen, yeah.
iconic, bro.
yeah.
Milan, Kaká, golden. What you guys got?
One of my favorites were, I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was like 2006 era when we had like the Tam oil.
Oh, okay.
It had like the blue and with the
Yeah.
red letters.
Who's we?
Juve.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
sorry,
don't
I
play
didn't
for
say
them, bro.
You know,
Juve had the Tam oil. It was.
I remember that very well.
Those are like some of my favorite kits, man. They're so nice. It just went so well, the blue
Yeah, I had
with the black and white and yellow.
Some good ones in the back then that you won't see never again in football. The Carlsberg logo or any brewery logo because you can't really sponsor alcohol anymore, right? That
Show York
Yeah.
United.
so Carlsberg, even like on like the vintage, like a lot of the Scottish teams had it. I think Liverpool had it too for one point. Carlsberg was pretty big. Yeah,
I think honorable mention 02 for Arsenal.
about to say the same thing.
Classic.
Oh,
kit.
2 Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think they had Dreamcast as well too.
Yeah,
Also a classic one.
Didn't-
UNICEF Barca.
Juve had Sony too, right?
Sony, yeah, they did.
Sony.
No,
Sony
I
was
mean
good.
an iconic one like AIG Man United.
Yeah, that's iconic too.
AIG. You
Sharp.
think of Cree. Yeah.
How about Roma Wind?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a cult classic.
yeah.
It was so nice. Had
Yeah.
like a little thing, loop-de-loop here, whatever it was.
I would also say like super nostalgic. I think a goal when I see this one, Siemens Real Madrid.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Classic.
I got a follow-up question to
Uh-huh.
go on what you just said. Have you ever bought or considered buying a shirt just because of the sponsor? Like just because the sponsor looked cool more than the team itself?
I don't think it's ever came to mind. To be
Would you?
honest.
Like, would you buy, let's say, that Fiorentina Nintendo kit just because the sponsor's sick?
maybe.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's never really
100%.
come to mind like, oh, I want to buy that just because of the sponsor,
But does that ever draw you to a kit? Like
Yeah,
when
a
you
little bit.
saw that Fiorentina kit, do you like it because it's a nice kit, or you like it because the sponsor looks cool on the kit?
I mean, both, to be honest.
Mm.
They go hand in hand. No, honestly, yeah, I have that Fiorentina kit. I'm pretty sure.
There's also kits out there that you want to get, but you won't get because of that sponsor. One of the
Yeah.
biggest ones was the United with the massive Chevrolet logo.
Oh, yeah.
And even now, like the Snapdragon is like some chip manufacturer.
Yeah.
It's like, really, dude? Like,
Yeah.
really
what are you doing, man? So
This-
another good one is Vodafone.
Vodafone, yeah,
Yeah.
true.
I'm
Van
looking at some
Nistelrooy.
Think of the blue-
Barca
think of the blue
UNICEF
kit.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
UNICEF.
When you guys cared about the people. Phillips again, JVC.
JVC was sick for Arsenal. Did you say that already?
No.
JVC?
He said Dreamcast.
No, but
Sharp,
that's the
sharp.
best thing about a sponsor though, because usually like it's just like a blister on your shirt, right? But
Yeah.
if that sponsor could like bring like good moments, good feelings, good memories, like
It elevates
that's a
the kit.
win-win, bruh.
Yeah.
Like
Dude.
something simple like the Chelsea Samsung. Like I
Yeah.
think it just fits so well. Like it doesn't even feel like there's a sponsor on there.
It's just part of the kit.
Yeah.
Also, a big one back in the day was Parmalat for Parma.
Yeah.
Like those went hand in hand too.
Parmalat was a good one.
Yeah,
too.
actually, yeah.
For the
I remember
Parma.
that.
Yeah.
I think Coca-Cola had like a few kits that they sponsored too.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola sponsored a lot of teams back in the
Yeah.
day. They were huge.
Facts. Yeah. I just
Okay,
want-
I had one more question
got
to,
one?
like, it's quick too.
okay.
So I see that you have no sponsor in the Brazil, so international kits don't really have the sponsors on them. Do you guys prefer with sponsor or without?
The club jerseys have to have a sponsor. National team jerseys, I feel like you can never. Well, that obviously never, but I don't think it'll look great.
So on a club jersey, you would never put just nothing here.
Nah, I like a sponsor.
I like a
kit.
sponsor on the jersey.
We like a sponsor list kit.
I like sponsorless. I've seen like a lot of like mock-ups of like Barca kits without the Qatar Airways, and it looks clean. To be honest.
Because I know Juve
Yeah.
actually just released one without a sponsor.
No, I think especially for striped team kits, they tend to look better without a sponsor sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You're not rocking the
because
Cuddle G?
sometimes it gets cut off. Sometimes the colors don't fit right because it's multicolored, right? So
Yeah.
the sponsor doesn't blend in as nice. So yeah, Barca, because Barca used to be sponsorless until 05.
Mm.
They never sponsored till like 2005. So it's like till like 06 even. So like they've been without a sponsor. So it's not uncommon to see.
Yeah, that's all I got, man.
What do you guys think of McDonald's League that's coming out now?
What?
The new McDonald's League.
Liga?
Oh,
McDonald's League?
Joke, bro. Went from Uber Eats to McDonald's. What's next?
I like McDonald's rather than Uber Eats. to
See,
be honest.
that's an example of a sponsor just tarnishing the image.
Yeah, that shouldn't be there.
That's tough.
Because it gives you banterous vibes. Like,
But they've changed their logo again. It's literally like
Sam?
it's literally like the La Liga logo. It's literally an L and then just the one.
Oh yeah.
They made it so like simple now, like with these logos. I feel like sometimes you have to keep your like keep the history of the logo intact in a way, not just put letters or numbers.
They're changing it too much.
Even the La Liga one, it's double L.
I don't mind the La Liga one, to be honest.
It's like a
simple,
FIFA. It's almost like a
clean.
FIFA logo.
I kind of like it.
They made
I
it
don't
too
mind
FIFA
it.
like. I don't know. But yeah,
Is what it is.
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
All right. end
yeah,
it off
guys, with
there.
that said, I'm excited to see which sponsors come out this season. Obviously, Barca have a giant Spotify logo on their chest now. A little bit of an eyesore, but we move. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. I want to thank the audio listeners for tapping in. If you made it this far, shout out to you. Drop a cheeky comment on what you guys want to see next, debates and whatnot. I think this was a fun one. Drop a like, subscribe, and let us know your favorite kit of all time. Let us know.
Interesting.
But with that said, take care and bye.
Ciao, fellas. Later.
See ya, fellers.
Who's this guy?
Later.
Hey, yo, put that away, brother.